that this effort has been undertaken. That is, if we had a robust democracy in Rhode Island at this point in time, this effort, the moderate party of Rhode Island, would not exist. The fact is that we don't. The fact is that almost 40% of seats in the General Assembly go uncontested. Many more seats are routes. And we are getting, in my opinion, progressively worse and worse legislating. What's happening right now at the State House is not an exemplary example of good legislation and good legislating occurring in the best interest of the majority of Rhode Islanders. And something has to be done. This was the only thing that made sense to me to do, and here we are.
And here we are. Ken, I want our viewers to see what this petition looks like. It is very similar to nomination papers, only on the top it says basically this: Petition of Moderate Party of Rhode Island for recognition as a political party. And those individuals who sign this will sign according to the city or town that they live in.
Correct.
So those of you who have signed nomination papers, same thing. Those of you who have never done that before, this is basically what it looks like. It's legal size. It happens to be white. When you're an official party, Ken, you'll get a color. Have you thought about your color yet?
There's been some discussion of colors, and we don't have a consensus yet. So we're looking for a mascot as well. So any ideas can be emailed to us, and we'll gladly take a look at them. I wanted to also show, if you do happen to see us out and about, and we will be out and about extensively this summer, wherever there are more than 3 or 4 Rhode Islanders in a cluster, you'll probably see someone representing the moderate party of Rhode Island bugging them for signatures. We have these large black binders. And for those of us who are working crowds, it's important that we get signatures on the right page, depending on which town the voter is registered in. So we have a binder here with 39 towns, and we have to make sure that we get your signature on the right page. So these black binders are our signature, if you will, and we will be using them as heavily as necessary to try and get through this process in 2009.
And Ken, I imagine that the petitioners may have a button, as you have a button on, may be wearing a T-shirt. You want to show our viewers the T-shirt?
I would, and in fact, I brought this for you. This is a keepsake
I'll
for you.
be wearing it.
And what we have here is the official Moderate Party of Rhode Island T-shirt.
Making waves in the ocean.
We're making waves in the ocean state.
Love it.
And on the back, we have the website and our slogan, which is, "The time is now." So I gladly offer this to you, and great appreciation of the support you've shown us up to this point in time, and please wear it with pride.
Thank you so much, Ken. I shall. And I want to make my position perfectly clear. I am an unaffiliated voter, but I do believe in this system of representative government. But it doesn't work unless we're all working hard at it. And that means that we have to exercise what I call our political citizenship. And some people exercise their political citizenship simply by voting. Others do that by working on a campaign, collecting signatures, as I shall for the Moderate Party, Ken. Some people become candidates. The exercise of their political citizenship, I don't think it's a privilege. I think it is a necessity.
It is an absolute necessity, and identifying candidates, convincing quality individuals to undertake the difficult process of campaigning and running for elected office is a critical function of the party, something that we're taking very seriously and that we're working on. Having messages for those candidates, working on your talking points,
yes,
trying to have a common platform, a common message for all candidates to carry up and down through the slate of offices that you're competing for. All of these things are critical activities. They're all activities that we are undertaking and that we plan to undertake. And it's so critically important, as you say. Without it, you end up with a dysfunctional democracy. And that's really
what we have.
It's very much
There's
what we
no
have.
question about it. Ken, I'm going to ask you some difficult questions.
Go right ahead.
And I'm sure that you've heard them on a number of occasions. I hear it all the time. Whenever we have Ken Block on as a guest on this show, I get email, I get telephone calls. And this is the common complaint that I hear. You know, in a three-way race, the incumbent is going to win. The moderate party is just going to muck up the waters.
I've heard that complaint.
What do you say to that, Ken?
You know, undoubtedly there will be some races where by the way, there are already three-way races. Independent candidates can and do run
Sure.
in given races, and we can see the impact that three-way races and even four-way races can have on individuals. My first response to that question is that with the dysfunction that we have, with the crazy supermajority that we have in the House at this point, if the impact of this effort were in fact to correctly end up with some splitting of the vote, and that splitting of the vote in fact benefits the incumbents, I don't know that we can change the percentages much worse than they are already. But I actually don't believe that that's going to be the official outcome of what happens. I believe that, first of all, faced with a viable choice and presented with a viable choice, that voters of Rhode Island, particularly who feel like they don't really have viable choices at the polls right now, will look with great interest at what it is that we're doing. And I have great indications that is what will happen at this point. We have polling that shows that's what was going to occur. And I also believe firmly that it's not a truism that in a three-way race the incumbent's going to walk away the victor. I believe there's plenty of evidence that that isn't necessarily the case. It's really on a race-by-race basis, and ultimately, I would hope, the most important factor in determining who wins a race is who's a better candidate. And our full intention is to run people who are the best candidates. We will hunt for them, we will badger them, we will wine and dine them, we will get them to run. And, it's the most important thing. Once we collect our signatures and once we do a lot of other things, it will become the most important thing that we do.
Ken, I'm laughing because I met you just a short while ago. And when you say what you just have said, I believe it, because you are the Energizer Bunny of politics in Rhode Island. I think that you'll be able to do those things. Ken, I just want to make an observation, because I think perhaps there may be some three-way races with the moderate party, a Democrat, an independent, or Republican. But there have been many races in this past election, as you just pointed out, where there was a Democrat and no challenger.
Right.
And so I envision that in the next general election, there'll be a Democrat and a moderate party person, because it seems to me that the moderate party folks will go where Republicans have feared to tread.
That is our goal. It's premature for me to be able to project how many races that we will compete in, how many candidates we're going to field for the General Assembly seats at this point in time. It would probably be foolish of me to indicate that we're going to run candidates for every seat in this next election. I don't think that's possible. And it would be foolish for me to predict any real number at this point. Our goal ultimately would be to run a quality candidate for every single seat. This next election, we are going to have to settle, given the effort that we're undertaking now and the fact that we're just getting going, we will settle for a smaller number of seats, hopefully increasing the quality of the people that we do select to run as moderates. And the whole goal, obviously, is to win and to make an impact and to bring some additional balance to our legislature.
Well, Ken, I think that this is going to be an especially interesting general election because of the moderate party, because we have a number of people who've expressed an interest in running for governor. I'm sure that you are cultivating a gubernatorial candidate.
We are.
I know of one. I suspect there may be more than one. I can think of a few people who would be excellent gubernatorial candidates. And